And welcome back to another exciting episode of Galea Kills, your #1 rated daily weather program in Metropolis, where Galea kills everything. Now we're on the scene here in good old 31st century New Earth, and we are checking out the Validus bounty today. This bounty is located right in the center of everything, so it's really hard to miss. It is a timed bounty, so you do have a very limited window of engagement to make this happen, and to be frank, folks, it's really difficult to beat by yourself. I haven't ever seen anybody solo it personally, and I'm fairly convinced that you can't do it without cheating. But we're still going to walk you through the mechanics, that way you know how those do work, so if you do find yourself there with a team or on that bounty train, you can lend a helping hand. The first section is pretty easy. You're going to see the 3 Legion members here: Controlled Cosmic Boy, Controlled Lightning Lad, Controlled Shatter Girl. You're going to need to get them all down to about 50% health in order to trigger the next segment of the fight. After that, enclosure pops apart. You'll have to keep walloping on them for a little while, but it does become a little trickier here because Validus is going to start using attacks here in a moment. Those do muck up the battlefield a little bit. Now, one of the nice parts about this fight is, even though you're fighting them, sometimes at the same time, you're not fighting them at full strength. They're not using their full mechanics when they fight you. That means Saturn Girl's not going to hide inside of a shield while the Emerald Eye causes you to die through repeated uses of the orbital attack. Cosmic Boy is not going to drop a buzz on you. Lightning Lad doesn't have his lightning elementals. Now, after you get them down to a certain degree, you'll see that the Emerald Eye of Ekron becomes vulnerable. It does still have that beam attack, and it will still use its own orbitals on you, just not as frequently as it used to when you were dealing with Cosmic Saturn Girl there. This is a definite benefit. However, due to the fact that you're fighting 3 of them at the same time, and Validus still has the ability to use AOE attacks on you without you having a chance to respond, you can still potentially die here, so definitely keep an eye open. After you get the Eye of Ekron down to the point where it's no longer active, the 3 Legion members will depart the battlefield. They are no longer mind controlled, so you no longer have to fight them, but now you have to deal with Validus instead. We're not sure what the hell is up with Validus, if I'm being really honest with you. He's gigantic, he's the size of a building, he's really mad. He has a tremendous amount of different attacks. He's not really what you could call a very coherent sort of character. I'm not even sure what his actual story is or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. What you do want to watch out for are his AOE attacks, the block or avoid. That is serious. That attack can potentially kill you in one shot. Another thing to watch out for would be his rush attack. He does look like he would be a candidate for counter game, but you would be wrong. He's really far too large to be susceptible to that. Now, after the fight gets to about the 2.5-minute mark, you'll notice that the Morgru gems are back. You want to avoid those if at all possible, unless you're still collecting them from the bounty associated with them. At which point, conversation, get up in there, give them a smack, turn that crank, get them off, go to the bank. Yeah, that's right, folks. Pure profit if you can make it all work, and if you don't need them anymore, just stay the hell away from them. That way they don't turn you into rocks and trees and other crazy shit like that. As this fight goes on, you will notice that Validus is still just chugging away here. What are we supposed to do next? Usually, if you have a team with you, you can burn through him successfully just by maintaining consistent damage output alone. However, and I mention this because it's worth mentioning, there is still another mechanic yet to come, and we'll discuss that here in a moment. Right now, you just want to keep plugging away at them until you activate that final mechanic, and that's going to be the turrets and the Inertron. Go around to the red pieces of debris, pick them up off the field, carry them over to the turrets. The turrets are going to help weaken them a little bit and soften them up here for the next phase. That way you can do enough damage to finally put him back in the big bad box. Now, I'm going to let you know, unsolicited third-party advice, you're probably not going to do this solo. And I say that simply from the standpoint that he has way too much health and there is way too much going on in this battle for you to really have a realistically chance at it. However, never say never, and if you can post a video of it without you using a speed hack or cheating in some way, shape, or form, I would be very surprised. We'll even give you an honorable mention right here on the channel. That being said, this is still a pretty standard bounty from the standpoint of bounties of this type. It has a weekly reward available that is going to be 8 marks and the good old reward box, and I do believe there are some rudimentary feats associated with this bounty as well inside of this area, and that's basically all there is to it. If you can't get it done before the time runs out, he hops back in his box and he goes away. Now, the other thing to mention is, regardless of whether or not you can succeed at this, there is a secondary currency inside of this area that you get from all bounty attempts. That secondary currency will allow you to purchase specialty items such as styles, auras, and materials from the style vendor here in 31st Century New Earth. Absolutely wonderful stuff if you're looking to get a little extra shine on your character there. Well, that's how that one works. If you can get it done, get it done. If not, it is a common stop on the bounty train. You stay on that train and they will get you to the station. From Galea Kills Everything, folks. Goodbye, good night.